Could you please let me suck it out?
Absolutely.
You fiend! Standing there plotting where your next blow will land. Very well, hit me! No!
Huh?
My name is Megumin. I am an arch-wizard who wields explosion, the most powerful, most feared, most deadly spell in all the land.
For real?
First, when we get back into town, you're going to join the Axis sect and pray to me 3 times a day. Second, at mealtime, if I ask for something off your plate, you have to give it to me. And third...
Alright, check it. So for today, we got Konosuba, aka one of the funniest isekais out there right now. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Okay, we're gonna dive right in. The anime starts with us being in the middle of nowhere, as we see our GOAT MC Kazuma, who just got finished talking to his Discord kitten, as he puts on the infamous isekai's tracksuit and starts his journey in order to get this video game. Then it cuts to the next morning. As Kazuma's walking past his girl, he notices how she's about to get hit by a truck. Of course, our GOAT pushes her out the way and takes the hit. Man, what a nice guy, for real. He then appears in a room sitting on a chair, and we see Fire Shit Goddess walking right up. Shit!
Take me next, bro! Take me!
The goddess ended up explaining that the girl that Kazuma saved was for no reason. She was about to get hit by a truck, and he only died because of the shock because he thought it was a truck. Yeah, not gonna lie, take it back. You went out straight sad, bro. Brody even pissed himself as his body is just laying there. Oh, hell no, bro. Apparently, the goddess name is Aqua, and she's one of the people who check people once they die, giving Kazuma 2 options to either reincarnate in a different world or to go to heaven. But of course, she tries to persuade Kazuma to reincarnate since heaven doesn't really have the things that someone like him would like. Shawty started yelling and geeking out, telling him that he could be reincarnated into this video game storyline type of world. She also explains to him that if he decides to go there, he'll be gifted anything that he wants to bring, but he only gets to pick 1 item. Kazuma is then left with to pick through these trash ass gifts, but none of them really fancy him. So he decided, you know what, since this goddess is being a straight bitch, he decided, you know what, you're coming with me. Definitely took her a second to realize what was about to happen, but Fine Shit finally explains to her that yeah, you're out of a job and you're going with him.
You're done.
And yeah, now we're here, the town of beginning adventurers,
Axel.
and unlike Subaru, Kazuma isn't left to getting his ass beat as soon as he arrives. So he got a little lucky, but he's stuck with this useless ass goddess who can't do shit. Kazuma ends up smooth talking his way into getting some information, and he ends up directing him towards the guild desk. And obviously, cause this guy is a
loser with no girl and no friends,
he knows plenty about video games. Fine Shit ends up telling him that they have to pay some register fee and do some paperwork, but the thing is,
they got no money.
Aqua ends up trying to use her image as a goddess to try to get some money, and it kinda works. Old man just felt bad because she couldn't pay for shit, so he lended her some coins. Moving on, the guild lady explains how being an adventurer works in this world. Pretty much kill monsters and your level will increase, and you would use those skills to get different types of abilities. All this information will be there on their adventure card, which has their stats, and of course that boy Kazuma didn't have anything but luck on his shit, so I ain't gonna lie, he's kind of helpless. But on the other hand, Aqua's intelligence is below average as well as her luck, but for some reason all of her stats are maxed out. Well, to be honest, I'm saying for some reason, but we know why, because she's a goddess. So she ends up becoming an archpriest. They all just started glazing Aqua while Kazuma was just left in the dust. I low-key kind of feel bad for bro. As the days goes on, they pretty much do nothing other than work, sleep in a barn next to shit, and it took Kazuma a minute to realize they haven't been doing jack shit. As he just lays there reevaluating all the choices that he has made up to this point, it's low-key kind of sad. That's tough. That boy Kazuma started to realize being reincarnated into a new world low-key is shit. Bro's out here living with the lazy goddess, sleeping in a barn, even with Shawty waking up in the afternoon.
Man, get off!
They finally decide they're gonna go on a kill quest, and at first it didn't sound like a bad idea since Kazuma has Aqua with him. So for the first kill quest, they have to defeat these big ass toads which are causing trouble eating all these goats, so they have to take care of it. Aqua just yapping her mouth off, but in the moment that she did that, the toads had enough. Like, damn,
shut the hell up!
Brody ate her whole, covered in all this nasty ass slime smelling like straight shit. Of course, she wants to get her get back, so she starts charging at the toad, and low-key I thought I was gonna see some crazy shit. Oh, Bro, she got eaten again. Why? They finally realized they need some allies, but the issue is they're dead broke. So the next day they decided to post some flyers for people to join their party, but of course no one wanted to join them. But then out of nowhere, oh shit, a big shot? A girl named Megami who has explosion magic decided, you know what, I'll join y'all crew, let me join for real. But low-key she started tweaking a bit, talking in third person, but hey, she's an advanced wizard, so we might as well let her join. Aqua does explain that the race that Megami is in is known for being strong, so they finally allow her to join the group. They even take a look at her stats, and it's true, she is an arch wizard, so maybe they got lucky with picking someone. So to truly test her abilities, they went on a mission to see firsthand how strong she is. Once again, Aqua charges at the toad and uses this crazy ass attack, but still she got eaten. And low-key, I'm starting to see why her intelligence is so low too. But then we see Megami charging up her attack. Oh shit, I'm shaking, bro. Even the chant that she's doing is cold, bro. She completely erased the toad, but then another one spawns, and what is she doing? Why is she slumped? Apparently we find out that she can only use one spell a day, and once she uses that, she has no more energy. Man, you're useless. She even gives us a little story on why she only uses that one explosion spell, and man, all I heard was some bullshit, bro. Of course, Aqua's dumbass ate that shit straight up and even started glazing her. But of course, Kazuma realized that she is completely useless and how Aqua is even more useless. That's tough, bro. Bro even tries to ditch her, but of course she's resisting, and these two are here making Kazuma look like a bad guy. And finally he gives in and invites her to the party. Obviously from the quest that they did, it didn't pay them shit, and the other quests aren't even better too. So just before all hope seems to be lost for Kazuma, he hears this sugary woman walk up to him. Oh shit. And she pretty much asks Kazuma if she could join his party, and low-key she looked serious. Bro,
you good? Why is she tweaking too?
blonde hair chick is named Darkness, and low-key you could tell that Kazuma was not trying to let her join the party. Shawty started tweaking, talking about some,
Why was your party covered in slime?
Oh yeah, they got swallowed by some toads.
If only I was there!
man, watch out, bro. And once again, her problem is that despite the fact that she's so strong, she can never hit her target. This guy Kazuma probably has one of the worst lucks I have seen up to this point, despite the fact that he literally has a lot of luck, so it doesn't make any sense. But at the end of the day, it's nothing compared to this guy, so you gotta suck it up. It also seems like she has a kink of getting used as a shield. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, you got it. The next morning approaches and we see Aqua putting her skills to use, a party entertainer. And later on, Megami ends up explaining to Kazuma how he can use his skill points in order to get new abilities. Out of nowhere, Darkness approaches and she still wants to be accepted in this group. But finally, Kazuma turns her down completely. But it just turns her on even more. Bro, what? The other girl who was friend with Darkness ends up telling Kazuma that she could teach him a skill if he just buys her a drink. Seems valid. The skill that she ends up teaching him is called Steal, which pretty much takes other people's items, and depending on your luck, the better the item. And if you remember, this will work perfectly for Kazuma since his luck is so high compared to everyone else. So at the end, Kazuma learns the skill and then he tries to use the ability, and he ended up stealing. Yeah, nah, let's put that down, Brody. My guy started putting that shit up like it's a trophy. Bro, what are you doing? And Darkness is being turned on by this?
How?
This guy Kazuma ends up using his ability again, but it looks like the only thing this guy can actually steal
It's
is
straight underwear.
like, bro, lock in. And why is she getting turned on by this, bro? Back up. You're doing too much. Kazuma then tries to scare off Darkness by telling her exactly what Aqua and his mission is, which is to defeat the Devil King. Quote unquote,
He'll chain you up and torture you.
then she says,
Yes, I fully expected that, and I'll be glad to be the devil's plaything.
bro, what? He even tries to scare off Megami, but she just ends up saying her intro again. Even Aqua's getting scared. How? In the middle of their convo, a situation ends up happening at the gate, which seems like the town is about to be attacked and it needs all the adventurers to help. I was deadass thinking they were about to fight some evil monsters, but it's just cabbage. Aqua describing this shit like it's a life or death situation, but it's just people capturing cabbage in order to make it into food. Darkness ends up wanting to prove herself to Kazuma, so she tries to hit one of the cabbage just for her to miss every single hit. God dang! And wait, low-key, I'm not gonna lie, take back what I said, because these cabbages are high-key kind of strong. Darkness ends up being a shield to protect these two guys, and low-key, it looked like it was getting serious until, bro, there's no way she's getting turned on by this again. Yeah, there's something wrong with her, I'm not gonna lie. And no way Megami is going to use this spell. Hey, it clean though, it's clean, I won't lie. At the end, everything seems to work out and they were able to defeat the cabbage and they were all praising each other. And Kazuma ends up deciding to let her into the squad despite the fact that she is freaky as hell. Moving on, Kazuma ends up unlocking a new skill that allows him to sprout water from his palm. Darkness pulls up and already is getting turned on by how Kazuma is talking shit about her. Bro, what is going on? And then we see Megumi. Yeah, okay, let's just move on. Aqua ends up having a fight with Fine Shit due to her not getting her full payout since she didn't really capture a lot of cabbage, and we also find out she was actually getting lettuce. We also find out that Kazuma got rich off of this shit. Aqua ends up glazing Brody just trying to get some bread off of him, and eventually she started acting up, so he had to lend her some money.
Hey, he got that shit on though.
We also find out that the Devil King's general ends up setting camp outside the gate, hence the reason why there's no low-level quests anymore. Eventually too, Kazuma ends up having to go out with Megumi because she has to do her daily explosion bullshit. I won't even lie with you. As much as this gets annoying, each time that she does this, I get more and more excited because it looks clean each time. Hey! She ends up blowing up this castle in the far distance. Remember this part because it's very important later. As time goes on, Megumi and Kazuma kept blowing up the same castle every single day since everyone else got something better to do. God damn, bro. Once Kazuma and Aqua got home though, Kazuma low-key had enough and told Aqua she's a good-for-nothing, weak-ass, useless goddess who's only good for party tricks. And shit, I don't disagree with him. She ends up crying until the next day, but obviously she was faking it all along. Another emergency battle happens and it seems to be a headless knight with a horse. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, he's kind of clean though. And apparently it's the Devil King's general, and the only reason why he's here is
Every day, every single day, every bloody day, every day, one of you keep blowing up my castle.
GG's. GG's, bro. He's had enough, and I think you guys know why. Megumi ends up putting her big girl pants up and walks up to bro, confronting that she's the one that actually blew up his castle every single day. She ends up doing her little intro, but Headless Bro cuts it out asking,
What is a Megumi?
Obviously, Megumi fakes her story to tell bro that she has to use her spell once a day because if she doesn't,
She'll die.
and that she's quote-unquote the strongest mage in this whole town. Yep, she's lying. Oh, Aqua about to go crazy too? Oh shit, these boys ready. And Darkness ends up taking that shit too? Okay. Apparently, bro puts a curse on Darkness in which she'll die in a week and she'll suffer until that last day of the week approaches. And of course, Shawty is about to die, but for some reason, it's turning her on, bro. You got it. Bro, why is she trying to go with bro? The only way to lift the curse is that Megumi has to destroy the demon guy's minions, but Aqua actually has the ability to lift curses, so problem solved. And somehow everyone just started glazing her again. Yeah, okay. Aqua ended up deciding that they have to go on a quest to get some extra beds, so they decided to pick a quest where the lake just pretty much needed to be clean, which seems pretty easy. So to make things easier, Kazuma thought of the idea of putting Aqua in a cage since all she has to do to purify the water is to touch it. Seems pretty easy. But then out of nowhere, while she's doing this, some hungry ass gators pull up and she finally decides to pick up the pace and do this shit a little bit faster. And obviously, cause she wants the money, she doesn't want anyone to bring her back to land, so she sucks it up. Darkness out here talking about some
I wish that was me in the cage. It looks like she's having so much fun.
Huh? Finally, the lake is cured and Aqua seems completely drained. Low-key kind of feel bad for her, but hey, she got the bread that she wanted, so she'll suck it up. We see this other guy who got isekai'd as well, and he seems to be this sort of hero, and shit, he got that shit on too, with that cold-ass sword in his back as well. He's pulling too? Oh, okay, boy. Bro saw how Aqua was in a cage and thought she was in danger, so he broke her out. Just for Aqua to remember that she's a goddess, yeah, I think she might be a little, yeah. She ends up not remembering bro at all and she just started capping. But she does tell him why she's here and blames everything on Kazuma, which I ain't gonna lie, kinda is his fault. Obviously, the simp ass dude presses Kazuma for bringing this goddess to this mortal world. But of course, this guy doesn't know a damn thing that he is talking about, and he ends up telling Kazuma he's an idiot pretty much for having these quote unquote wonderful female warriors by his side. Obviously, Kazuma is not falling for this bullshit slash rage bait, but then Brody tries tries to steal Darkness, Megumi, and Aqua from him, even saying that he'll treat them a lot nicer and shit, he'll even buy them things and then he'll have to lift a finger. But of course, because these three are crazy, they don't even give a fuck about anything that he said and even started calling him weird. Bro ended up deciding, you know what, we should duel, and of course, Kazuma did not waste a single second. He ended up using his skill steal and took his sword and defeated him. Bro lost so easy, I'm completely dead. Kazuma even ends up threatening his little fangirl club that he got going on, telling them that if they don't leave him alone,
they'll be next.
Bro's out here moving like Luffy, chill out. The next day, this guy pulls up again, and bro, he still didn't get the hint that Aqua and the rest of them do not fuck with him. Take a hike, pal. Aqua punches the shit out of bro for messing with the cage and ruining her payment. So she forces bro to cough up all of his money. And of course, he does it like a good little bitch. We also find out that Kazuma ended up selling his sword, so he pretty much left because now he needs to find where his sword is at now. Darkness and Megumi finally end up having questions on why this guy kept calling Aqua a goddess. And at the end, Aqua does tell them that she actually is a goddess, but of course, they don't believe her and shit. I wouldn't too. Another emergency happens, but for some reason, they want Kazuma's squad to deal with it because it's this guy again. And I'm not gonna lie, he looks completely pissed. Megumi kept blowing up bro's place, and Aqua's been the one helping her, bro. Like, what are we doing? But after all of his yapping, Aqua finally decided to do something and try to end bro's life right there and then. And low-key, it seemed like it was working because bro was screaming for his life, but hey,
He was still alive.
finally though, shit gets serious. Aqua tries again, and it seems like her magic doesn't work on him, so because of that, he ends up summoning these zombies to chase over Aqua. Kazuma thinks of a plan to kill all of them with Megumi's magic, and now we are finally going to see some crazy shit. Megumi gets ready to charge up her attack, and each time she does this, bro, I swear to God, it does not get old. You already know what to say. And oh, he's still alive? He ends up using his all-seeing type of move and just starts weaving and attacking everyone. Oh shit, they actually might be dead. He's kind of cold with it too. And oh, Darkness fighting now? Okay, maybe she's about to lock in. He's right there. What did the rock do to you? Why are you aiming there? And oh my gosh, she's getting turned on by this again, bro. What the hell, bro? Even Demon Brody getting worried about her. Now she's begging to be hit? Kazuma finally puts his skills to use and covers the field with water, then freezes it and prepares to use his steel skill in order to get his sword. But for some reason, it didn't work and bro just continues striking Darkness. But then, Kazuma realizes water might be his weakness. So Aqua, finally being useful, uses her water abilities. And Darkness makes sure that bro does not run away
too.
And just before he did another attack, Kazuma uses his steel move again and he ended up getting, oh shit.
Yeah, you're cooked.
They ended up treating bro's head like a soccer ball. Sheesh. Aqua then uses her goddess abilities one last time and completely erases bro, and somehow they actually won this fight. Darkness thought that the people who got knocked down by the Demon Brody were actually dead, and she ended up started praying for each one of them, even though they pretty much treated her like shit. But because of Aqua being a goddess, she ends up bringing each one of them back to life. Aqua's low-key being useful today, damn. Kazuma's squad ended up getting rewards, but I just find it so funny because they pretty much started this whole shift to begin with. Everyone just started glazing them, even cheering Kazuma's name, and low-key it was looking right because they got rewarded $300 million. But sadly, once again, because of Aqua, and since she destroyed the whole town's wall, they have to pay for all the damages. And instead of getting 300 million, they're now in $40 million in debt. Yeah, that's tough. Kazuma was just thinking to himself that he actually might be able to retire and forget about this life of his, but now it looks like he has to pay over all that damn debt. But hey, I'ma pass it to my boy Key right here, so he got that shit.
Give me that step, yeah. Nanton gave me a little segment, so you guys are gonna have to chill with me real quick. So we see Kazuma and he's chilling at his respawn point, the starting point, the room where he met Aqua. And this can only mean one thing. Kazuma got turned into a pack. But we gotta see exactly how he died. So after their battle with Verdia, Santa season ended up coming along, and Kazuma saying, yo, I'm not gonna lie, we need some money. We are broke. How am I chilling with a goddess and we're not swimming with money? Her followers aren't donating to her. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, y'all three are gonna have to start what you want to start. But Kazuma's party then decides we have to go kill some monsters because we need some bread. I mean, the snow got Kazuma's eyelashes freezing over. He's looking like a bad girl. He's looking like Jeffree Star. How am I gonna say bad girl and then say Jeffree Star? That is a pause. So while they're looking at the quest board like this is a Roblox RPG, because somehow that's the only type of progression Roblox developers know how to make, Kazuma sees snow sprites and like, yo, these monsters look dorky. I mean, yo, we got them in the bag easily. And Megumin's saying, yeah, they're easy to kill and all, but, and then she gets cut off by Aqua. Kazuma got set up from there. This was a plan from inside out, because Darkness is getting excited and he's like, yo, she likes to fight type dudes like Chris Brown, people that hit on their significant others. Something ain't right. And when they get to the battlefield, Kazuma is dogging on Darkness's fit. I mean, sure, she does like the cold because she's a little freaky. She's saying she likes the ice to bite her and stuff. But if we take a peek at Megumin, she has on a black spandex leotard, shorts on as well. And he's not dogging on that fit. She's wearing basic summer attire out here in the Big M, Montana. Put respect on its name. And Aqua's trying to catch snow sprites like they're jellyfish moving like SpongeBob. And Kazuma and Darkness are doing absolutely nothing on the field. I think Kazuma got 1 kill. And that's when Megumin says, yeah, let me just blast him to smithereens. She gets the snow sprites out of the way and she's face planted down in the ground. But after this, Kazuma's like, oh, we better go home and eat. Good. We're moving out of the slums of New York and we're getting the whole upgrade on square footage. We gonna be moving like Jeff Bezos. So then he has the smart idea and he's like, yo, wait, why does nobody fight these if they're this easy and getting bread is this easy? I'm moving like a PS4 repairman. This job is too easy. The IRS gotta catch on or something, because I'm gonna run up millions doing this. And that's when Darkness says he's here. That's why she was excited previously. Aqua tells him while they're already out on the battlefield, knowing Kazuma is not one of those OP isekai protagonists, knowing he's just a regular human. Shoot, he didn't even get isekai'd by a truck. He got isekai'd by a tractor and the tractor didn't hit him. He got isekai'd because he thought it hit him. She tells him, y'all know about this guy in Japan. You hear him on the weather forecast. The winter shogun pulls up. Why didn't Aqua tell him this sooner? I don't know. And Megumin's playing dead. She's like, I don't have any magica potions. This isn't Skyrim. I can't use my explosion again. Remember, I got a 1 time per day limit. So y'all got this without me, right? But Darkness is hyped, ready to run a fade with the winter shogun, gets her sword split in a heartbeat, cut through like it was butter being spread on toast. Aqua tells Kazuma this basically got created from the people from your world being summoned here, and your thoughts created this thing like he was Grimmy Cuddy or Grim Cut, whatever that ugly Saul looking dude's name is, the dude off of Hulu. But Aqua tells him he's really forgiven, so I'ma free these snow sprites, I'ma bow down, and he's gonna leave us alone. But Darkness is still ready to fight, so Kazuma pulls up, takes her head, and slams it to the ground. But he still has his sword in his hand, and Aqua says, put your sword down. He's like, huh? Looks at his sword like an idiot, and he's dead. He's on the start screen. And that's when he's talking to Eris, and Eris says, you've gone through so much. And just for that, when I reincarnate you, I'ma make you the baby of Bill Gates. How does that sound? You'll have everything you want in life. You'll be smiling like the baby in that one TikTok. But before she gets the process started, he starts remembering his life here and he's like, yo, it's been actually terrible. I've been a construction worker. I couldn't kill any crazy monsters, so I had to fight cabbage. I was so broke I slept in stables. I can't wait to be rich. But that's when Aqua casts a resurrection spell on him and she's like, yo, stop talking to that goddess in there. She's stupid. She's dumb. Just because you were born in Japan doesn't mean you can't come back here. I casted a spell on you. And oh yeah, if she doesn't let you come back right now, I'm telling everybody in the world her chest is fake. So Kazuma's back to their world in a heartbeat. And they're all happy Kazuma's back. Aqua's begging him to thank her. And he's like, yo, I wish I could trade you with that girl right now. I'm tired of seeing you. She gets on her Ippo Dempsey roll trying to knock the mess out of him. But this dummy Aqua kept a snow sprite. And she's not letting Kazuma cash it in for 100,000 Eris, mind you, because she wants to turn it into a fridge. Actually, low key, that's valid because they're so broke. They probably don't have a fridge. They have nowhere to store their food. So she's thinking about it in the long run for real, actually. W Aqua.
Sick guy. He got this jacket from a garage, so he won't care if I burn
Hey, that's my chrome heart jacket, fool. I know we're broken. We stay in the slums, in the stables, and I could sell this to buy a mansion, but I'm not doing it. And why don't we sell that trashy fabric you got wrapped around your neck? You could probably make this scarf at $5 below.
Nah, this Rick Owens.
But Kazuma decides, I'm tired of being a bum. I gotta learn some skills. I gotta move up in the ranks. So Kazuma and Aqua walk into a store and they see Wiz, and Aqua is on Wiz's head saying, yo, I know your only dads isn't making that much money. I don't know how you have a crib and I don't, and I have to stay in the stable. So Kazuma pulls out his sword and slams it on Aqua's head, putting her in her place. But we find out that Wiz is some sort of undead lich, and that's when Aqua introduces herself. She says she's the goddess of the Axis sect. Wiz gets all shaky, and it's not because Aqua's a goddess. Sure, she can purify her, but she's not scared of that. She's scared of the fact that she's the goddess of the Axis sect, and she says everybody in that sect is insane. And if they're worshiping her, I gotta get out of here. So Aqua starts attacking her for the second time. But then Wiz is like, oh, I heard you slimed out my subordinate. It doesn't even matter. I'm chill with that. But I'm a general myself like him. Aqua attacks her for the third time, hitting her to the ground, saying, when we turn you in, when we get that bounty, we're gonna be swimming in dough. Like Scrooge McDuck, we're gonna be be the richest people this land has ever seen. But then she just says, no, I'm not even like that. I'm not on hot. All I do is keep up his barrier. I don't do any fighting for him. I don't listen to anything he has to say. You guys can't get to him unless that barrier is down. But then they ask, so you really don't care we killed one of your subordinates? I mean, he was a general just like you. And she says, no. Every time I walk down the hallway, this man got on his hurricane lanes, threw his head like it was a bowling ball just to peek at me. I'm glad dude's gone. But then Wiz demonstrates her skill and Aqua isn't letting it slide. So guess what Kazuma does? Slaps her across the head again. But Wiz demonstrates the skill one more time and Kazuma finally adds the skill to his bag. But now Aqua is literally trying to kill Wiz, so she gets another slap to the back of the dome. But some man walks into the shop and then we see Kazuma and his party at a mansion. Did they finally make it out of the trap? We find out that this place is indeed haunted. They are at Luigi's mansion. Peak game, by the way. But they can stay here, own the property if they exercise every ghost. That is light work. But while Kazuma's chilling, feeling like he finally made it in life, Aqua lets out a scream. He runs to her room. He's like, yo, did you get hit by that bad ghost from Luigi's mansion that you let kill you each and every single time when you played? I know you guys did the same thing. She's like, what's Luigi's mansion? I ran out of booze. So she runs around the entire mansion, exercising each and every ghost, quick nature's beauty, and she's back to it. But Kazuma wakes up and says he has to use the bathroom, and he looks over and sees a doll sitting on a chair that wasn't there before. So he hits the quick turnaround, pretend like he's going back to sleep. I used to hit this move too. When I had to pee at 3 a.m. I thought Foxy from Five Nights at Freddy's would come down that hallway chasing me. I actually had a nightmare about it once, and that's how Kazuma is feeling right now. But he feels something climb up on the blanket, and that's when he opens his eyes and there's a whole lot of dolls on his bed. I would be terrified because when I was younger, I used to have, oh my goodness, such a fear of dolls. I was terrified. So he runs out into the hallway to Aqua's room so she can purify, exercise, whatever. But he runs into Megumi and he tells Megumi, look away. I'm going out the window right now. She grabs him. She's like, yo, we're a party. We go to the bathroom together. Who knows what could happen to you? So they get in a fight over going to the bathroom, and that's when a bunch of dolls hit the window. They look at it, they're out the room. And am I really about to give a play-by-play on somebody in the bathroom? Megumi is in the bathroom and Kazuma's outside. She's saying, are you still there? But dolls pull up and they gotta get out of there. So she's out there pantsless. But when they're hiding in a room, Megumi starts reciting her spell like she's just about to blow the entire mansion away. And they hear banging at the door. And Kazuma comes up with a plan. He's like, yo, don't be scared. Lock in for me real quick. And he throws open the door and hits Aqua in the head. It reminds me of that one TikTok of the dude slamming the fridge door but wouldn't close. And they have the little AI or whatever, a little Uzi being there, the animation. Peak era. But when they go to the guild to collect their reward, they find out that Aqua caused the problem. When Wiz was at the graveyard doing whatever she was doing, Aqua created a barrier so the spirits wouldn't gather at the graveyard anymore, and they ended up going to the house. And Aqua did that because she was lazy. So in return, they got no bread. But hey, they got a new mansion, and it's not possessed by ghosts anymore, so it's not Luigi's mansion. So now they're really living the life. The second night. And for this next episode, I'm sure you guys know what episode it is, and I don't know how much of this I can show, but we start off with Kazuma in the party in their new crib. They're all having a great time. Megumi's playing chess with darkness. I don't know why she has 4 pieces in her hand like she can move all of them at once, but hey, at least she's having the time of her life. Kazuma's like, I feel so bad for you, Aqua. You're gonna remain a bum for the rest of your life. You may be level 21, the highest level in our party, but your intelligence won't go up. You're cooked. And then we see Kazuma out in the city. 2 goons. Literally goons. Tell him, yo, there's a succubus bar right here. Let's go inside of it. And I don't think I can bring the camera inside of there, so we're not gonna bring it in. But I'm pretty sure you know what happens. So when they're back at the crib eating lobster, Darkness got it all for them. You know, she's moving different. She's really rich. Aqua shows them a new trick, how to eat the lobster with alcohol, and they're like, oh, this junk is to die for. This is the best thing I've ever tasted. But Kazuma can't get drunk because he wants to have that dream with the succubus. But then he thinks to himself, he's like, yo, honestly, man, I should choose friends and I should choose a good meal over a succubus. I mean, come on, that's for losers. Well, I'm going to bed. I'll see y'all tomorrow. And he leaves and literally gets ready for bed. But as he's taking his bath, he falls asleep and comes in darkness. And another scene I can't bring my camera into, but let's just say it's freaky. If you want to see the freakiness, bro, no comment. Just watch the 9th episode. That's where all the freakiness goes now. Aqua ends up trapping the succubus, and Kazuma ends up playing like a dummy, telling Darkness, yo, I didn't know anything about that. The succubus possessed me, bro. You know, I was tripping. I'm sorry about last night. But then he rats himself out because he's like, you shouldn't have walked into the bathtub with no clothes on. You should have knocked. You should have checked to see if anybody was in there. But that's when they get an alert about a destroyer invading the town. But that's all it is for me, so I'm gonna pass the ball back to my boy Nanton. All right, bro, give me my shit back. The hell, bro? Come on now. So moving on, apparently some destroyer is back at the town's wall, and
and shit was low-key looking crazy. Even Aqua and Megumi are packing their stuff too, and this shit low-key was looking deep. But Kazuma doesn't want to leave because, like, damn, he spent all his precious time and money into getting this big-ass crib. I ain't leaving now. And bro, what is that? The only person who can actually defeat this thing is the simp Brody, but because of Kazuma selling his sword, he hasn't seen him since. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie, they actually might be cooked. But eventually, everyone still decided that they can't ditch the town, so they ended up discussing a way to defeat it. Even Darkness getting serious, even sentimental, even telling Kazuma her true name, La Latina Destina Ford. Wait, did I even say that right? La Latina Destine Ford. Yeah, I think I said it right. In a shorter term, she's pretty much a rich girl. Regardless of that though, this robot Spider-Man, I don't know what the hell to consider this, but it's here. And oh shit, even Megumi's getting nervous. Aqua finally decides to get serious and prepares to attack, and low-key she was doing her shit. And she was able to defeat the spider's barrier, and now it's Megumi's turn. But she was still nervous until Kazuma doubted her skills, which pissed her off completely. And oh shit, this might be the best explosion yet. Even Wiz did one. And finally, it looks like they won until this shit started saying
self-destruct.
And obviously, Darkness being Darkness is getting turned on by a robot telling itself that it's going to self-destruct. How would you possibly get turned on by that, bro? Talking about some...
Would I be able to survive this blast?
Obviously not! But surprisingly, because of Darkness' courageous act, everyone ended up getting inspired and pretty much decided, you know what, we can't be pussies, let's all charge in. They ended up finding the pilot, and this guy is long dead, and low-key, the shit kinda looks sad. Until we find out that this stupid-ass scientist is the reason why his kingdom got destroyed, and he pretty much created this thing completely by accident. Wiz ended up thinking of a bright idea on how they can actually do this, but the thing is, she needs to ask Kazuma something.
Please let me suck it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, y'all got that. Oh wait, she thought mana. Obviously, I didn't think about anything else. Yeah. In which Wiz pretty much teleports the core to some random ass place, and it low-key looks like they won the battle until this random shit started happening. Now it's going to explode regardless. Then what was the point of all that? The shit was low-key kind of looking crazy until Kazuma thought of the idea of using Aqua's mana and then transferring it to Megumi, but of course she isn't making this shit easy. Then finally Megumi gets ready to do what she does best, which is to blow shit up. And I'm not gonna lie, this hands down is the best explosion that she has done up to this point. And yo, she really did that shit, bro. At the end, Kazuma ends up reminiscing from everything that has happened up to this point, and hey, he even realizes it really hasn't been that bad. And oh shit, never mind. Apparently, Kazuma's getting arrested due to the self-destruction shit, and he ended up blowing some rich-ass dude's crib. If you remember, he told Wiz that he's gonna take full credit for whatever it blows up, so now he's taking the credit. And yeah, that's where the anime ends. But hey, I hope you guys liked this video. Make sure to show my boy Key some love too, and don't forget to hype up the video, leave a like, and subscribe if you're new. And yeah, Lego!
Bye, have a beautiful time!